Hello, everybody. Today we want to talk about building good credit to become home buying ready. So, if you think you cannot afford to buy a home because you have bad credit, let me make this process simple and easy for you. First thing you want to do is you want to get a copy of your credit report. You want to get a copy of your 3-in-1 credit report. You do not want to go to Credit Karma. Credit Karma only offers 2 credit reports and they offer Vantage credit scores. You want to get a copy of your credit report from Experian, or I'm going to post a link in the description area where you can just go and get your credit report. You want a 3-in-1 credit report. A 3-in-1 is going to give you a full report and your credit score from all 3 bureaus. That's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Once you get all 3 of these credit reports and you look and see what your credit scores are, you want to look and see what you can do to build your credit. Now, for those of you who may have credit scores below 640, maybe even below 600, this video is really for you. So let's think about this. If you have low credit scores, let's look and see why your credit scores are low. There are 3 areas that you want to look at. You want to look at your credit cards. Do you have credit card debt? If you have credit card debt, look at your limit and look at your balance. Is your limit, or excuse me, is your balance close to your limit? That means if your utilization is high, you need to pay your utilization below 10%. If you pay your utilization below 10%, that is going to decrease your credit scores, or excuse me, it's going to increase your credit scores up to 10, maybe 15 points, sometimes even more. Based on the number of credit cards that you have, each credit card paid down below that 10% is going to give you that 10 to 15 point increase. The next thing you want to look at is what kind of inquiries do you have? Do you have an excessive amount of inquiries? If those inquiries were within the last 6 to 12 months, you could increase your credit scores 2 to 5 points. The next area you want to look at on your credit report is, do you have collections or charge-offs? Those are also considered late. If you have any late payments, those are also considered late. If you have any of those, my recommendation is you want to do some type of dispute letters to see how many you can get removed. The more of those you can get removed from your credit report, the better. First thing I highly recommend is you can dispute them. But if you dispute them and they don't come off, especially if you know your lease is expiring soon and you need to get started with the home buying process, what you want to do is reach out to any of those creditors and see if they will do a pay for delete. A pay for delete simply means this: if you pay the account, will they delete it? Most of the lenders will say no. They said they can only update, even though we know they can. But if you can get them to at least get the balance to 0, that's also going to give you an increase in your credit scores. However, to getting the accounts deleted is going to give you the best bang for your buck. So do whatever you can, negotiate with them, and see what you can get accomplished. Once you go through your credit report, and if you have time, for those of you who have at least 6 months or you just went into a new lease and you got a whole year to get ready, then what I'm going to highly recommend for you is you can start building your credit. One of the number one ways that you can build your credit is called rent reporting. If you know you've been renting for an extended period of time, you can go to rent reporters and get your credit, get all of your payment history for the last 1, 2, 3, 5 years reported on your credit report, and it will drastically increase your scores immediately. I'm going to also put a link to that in the description area where you guys can go and get started with that process. For those of you who have no credit and you really need to establish your credit, what I would recommend is you get a secured credit card. What I have found is with secured credit cards, for whatever reason, they will update and increase your credit scores within the first 90 days. And we're talking about a 25 to 45 point increase. Drastic. If you can combine that, paying off any negative accounts, doing rent reporting, and adding maybe a secured credit card, you could potentially see 50 to 100 points within the first 3 to 6 months. Looking at your credit scores, how much would 100 points increase your credit scores? Some of you would be in the low 600s. Some of you may be even in the 700s. The point is, those are the three things that I recommend you do that will help you to increase your scores quickly, and it will also help you to start building your credit. Because when starting the home buying process, the ideal number that lenders want to see, or as they call it, your middle score, the second highest of the three credit scores, they want to see a 640 or better. And a 640 or better will allow you to get the home buying process started and have fun and enjoy the process.